What's up, everybody? Welcome into The Token and the Truth. I am your host, Lady Drea Renee, and it is Tuesday, you guys. We are so excited to be here. I am joined by my lovely host, co-host.
I thought we agreed that I was going to introduce myself because you like to add all these weird.
I like to give you
my
like nice things to say about you.
my lovely co-host.
Why can't you be? You're lovely most of the time. Sometimes you're not lovely.
Yeah, I rather be thugged out than lovely.
My thugged out co-host, Freddie B. That's what you want me to say? Okay, I'll remember that for next time.
No, that's not what I want you to say.
It sounds like that's what you want me to say, Freddie.
That'd be better than my lovely co-host.
I'm joined by my lovely co-host, my amazing co-host, my fascinating co-host. Is that better?
Yeah, amazing, fascinating, handsome, beautiful, intelligent.
Handsome, beautiful. You are talented. That is what I'll give you. Freddie, I'm just happy that you made it back in one piece from the Philippines.
Yeah. I made it back from the Philippines. If you haven't seen that, it's on my page. I'm surprised how many people watched the whole hour. Like I was on live for the whole hour.
Of course, you were on live for a whole hour. What am I talking about? It's you.
It's a whole story. Like it was. I got my stuff stolen. I could have pulled up on the gang members and I had an angel from heaven that was there with me. Like if he wasn't there, I'd probably still be in the Philippines now.
Well, I'm very happy that you made it back and that we are able to have you for our show, The Token and the Truth.
Yeah, I mean, people would ask me what happened. It was like, I started texting people like, "Oh, this what happened." Just kind of like, oh, my phone got stolen. And people like, "Oh, but how?" And then question. Like, so then it's like, I got to tell y'all the whole story because if I leave out any piece, y'all like, well, how did you?
Let me tell you guys, Freddie's not going to leave out any details. All the details.
And the amazing part is, I wish we could just play clips of Exile. We don't even need to. Here we play clips of Exile.
What does that have to do with anything, Freddie?
Because
what?
Because like you like to say I talk a lot, which I know I'll accept.
Freddie B.
I'm like, what else you want me to do? Like I said, I'll take it. Like I'm denying. I'm not denying it.
I'm not saying you're denying it. I'm just saying you're quite long-winded. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, anybody know that. I'll tell you that. My friend, this is what I get paid to do.
And you do it very well, Freddie.
But the thing is that you are just as long-winded, if not more than I am.
The feedback, Freddie, when we edit our episodes, and anytime I stop, it's you talking. And all the feedback is, wow, Freddie talks a lot. That's the feedback. Not Drea. It's Freddie. Because Freddie has a lot.
From your friends, right?
Freddie, it's not just my friends, okay?
Okay. Oh, you talk to people that's not okay, cool, whatever.
Friends of friends give the same feedback.
But the thing is, the last episode, I was actually answering a question, and people asked me like, "Well, why do you say like why'd you like?" People asked me about my answer. I was like, "Oh, I didn't even get to finish my answer because you hopped in, and I just stopped talking."
Freddie, this is where we work on our self-awareness. This is where we work on our self-awareness, Freddie.
I had a few people like came at me because of my answer, and I was like, "Oh, I actually didn't finish my answer." Like people was coming at me, and I was like, "Cause I forgot what it was," but
I wish we could play the thing I sent you, but I can't find it. Our Exile clip that you that I sent to you earlier, but I can't seem to bring it up.
Yeah, because it came up in your memories. It looked like
it came up in our memories, so we can go back down memory lane of how Freddie and I met on a reality show.
You posted a clip like it was like a bootleg movie back in the day when people would be like, "Oh, I got the new Iron Man 12." I was like, "How you get that?" Like
it just popped up in my thing. God, Facebook and Instagram has to stop doing that. I mean, I'm sure it at times gets people in major trouble. It's just like, hey, do you remember this person that you dated? It's like, no, I don't want to remember that. Just get it out of my phone. I wonder if there's like a setting you can turn off to stop all the memories because sometimes it's just too much.
I think you can.
Well, I need to find it because that blows up my spot.
Good for that.
Say what?
Google Photos is good for that. Like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, they do that all the time. But like Google Photos, it can recognize the face. And then you can turn the face off.
Oh, but you're the Android life, right?
Right. And so all my photos will get backed up. What I thought. That's a whole nother story. But photos get backed up.
Freddie, that sucks. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I was so worried about you. But you just be out in the streets, Freddie. You just be out. You need to get inside. You get out so late.
And that's why I'm Buckets McGee, aka Mr. Outside, aka Freddie BTV, aka
Mr. Outside.
You know what I mean? So, it is what it is. It's good things, pros and cons may come with it. But
Pros
let's
and
open today's show, shall we?
All right, guys, let's get into our lovely topics today. Which one are we going with first, Freddie? The video?
Let's start with, because what we doing first? What's the
We
topic?
have the most Americans are getting divorced, and then love is unconditional.
Let's start with,
What did we
let's
start
start,
with?
I'll let you do the honors.
Okay, we'll start with the video first. That's the big one. That's the big one. Okay, here we go. Guys, listen in. This is juicy. This one. Okay.
When you truly love somebody, truly, here's the thing about love. Love is unconditional. That's the first thing I want to say.
Is it really?
Love is unconditional. If it's conditions on it, it ain't love. It's a contract. And that's okay if both of you agree on those terms. She may agree. We have a pleasure contract. We got an economic contract where you're going to take care of me. And as long as you take care of me, I'm going to be your woman. The Puff Daddy arrangement. You feel me? That works for some people. No, you have women like that. You have men like that.
Right.
I'm going to floss you up. And as long as I floss you up, you're going to be loyal to me. But that's a contract. That's not love. Contracts are different from love. Why? Contracts are conditional.
Right.
Love is unconditional. If I love my queen, what if she comes home one day and say, hey, baby, I don't want to work this. I don't want to be a lawyer no more. But if I only married her because I like the way her law degree looks on Dr. Umar in public, you see how this goes? She's changing. But if I love her, okay, baby, that's what you don't want to do. You want to go into something else. Let's do it. Love is when you love somebody, you are 100% unapologetically and unconditionally committed to that person's best interest, even if it is to your loss.
Ooh.
What if your fiance come home and say, listen, babe, I had a long conversation with my ex-husband. I never thought I would look at this again, but we left a lot on the table together. I enjoyed the time we had. I think that man might still be my soulmate. I got to move on.
Whoa.
I might still hurt because I loved her, right? But if that love is true, if you feel that's who you meant to spend the rest of your life with, I gotta love you and want the best for you.
Wow.
Most of us cannot do that. What we call love is limited to your investment in me. You see that?
Yeah.
Anytime they step outside of the box we created for them, we get angry because that was not love. You had conditions on it. Your woman gained 20 pounds.
Okay.
Now you're going to divorce her. You say, if you gain another 20 pounds, this marriage is over. That was not love. That was a contract because it had conditions. If I love that woman unconditionally, whether she gained 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds, I'm not going nowhere. Now, we might need to have a conversation about her health because I want you around for our children to get married. You understand? Right. But there's no such thing as ending a relationship because you stepped outside of my perfect box if you loved her. Love is unconditional.
Wow.
And most of what we got in the Black community are contracts disguised as loving relationships.
Ooh, honey. Okay. Wow, Freddie.
Like, comment, subscribe, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Come on with it. Come on with it.
Comment. Yes, hit that like button, you guys. Wow, this one just gave me the goosebumps. I mean, I watched it, but hearing it again, I mean, that stopped me in my tracks a little bit.
It gave you goosebumps. Go ahead. Hop in there.
It actually did give me goosebumps because I feel like this idea, especially when he talks about your partner saying that, hey, I want to be happy outside of this relationship without you in it. And then you really have to think about how much you do love this person. And I think a lot of people don't think about what love really, really is. And I always say, especially in my most recent relationships, that you need to be able to love a person outside of your relationship. Meaning, do you care about them enough for something like this to happen? Now, this is easier said than done, right? If the person you love is like, hey, I want to go be with somebody else. But if the love is truly unconditional, and that's why some people say the only real unconditional love is the love that you have for your children. And so when you do think about your partner and you do think about the things that made you want to be with them, you have to ask yourself, like, is this real? Like, what if this person loses all of these things? Will I still want to be with them? And nowadays in our culture, I think people are so disposable. Everybody gets rid of everybody in 1 second. People aren't in that mindset anymore to stick around in the trenches. So this gave me a lot of goosebumps just to think about like how I love, how I show up in relationships, because like love is hard. It's not easy. You have to make a choice to love your partner every day. And I love how he talked about commitment, committing yourself to a person, and understanding too that when you do decide to commit your life to somebody, that is not going to be the same person that you see in 10 years. And are you going to be able to still be with that person? They gain 20 pounds, they lose that job, you know, all the things that can happen within a person. And I think this is like a really powerful clip. And I hope a lot of people see this, because I don't think people understand this level of love, like what that really, really means. And I think that's why a lot of people say the only real unconditional love is the love that you have for your children, because as soon as anything goes wrong in a relationship, people are ready to step out immediately. So this is really, really powerful. And I hope a lot of people see this. Go ahead, Freddie.
So you agree with Dr. Umar?
Yes, I agree with Dr. Umar. What? Okay, what is that, Freddie? What is that?
I didn't think that you was gonna wholeheartedly agree with Umar.
Absolutely. You know why I agree with him? Because this is how I love. This is how I love. I love hard. You know what I mean? And when I go into that space of loving someone, like this is how I show up. So I absolutely understand that when you have that feeling for someone and you know, no matter what, like you want to stick by them, and they get fat, they gain weight, they do all the things. I mean, I went through something where I definitely loved unconditionally and I showed up fully. You know what I mean? And being able to say, like, I think that's the ultimate test. If someone's like, I want to be with somebody else, and you have to care about them outside of your relationship, like to me, that's like the ultimate test of love, right? If you really care about the person outside of the relationship. And I always think that that's important. Like, do you actually like this person? Do you know this person that you've decided to spend your life with? You know what I mean? Because things change. That is not going to be the same person that you married or whatever day it was. You know what I mean? So I feel like, yeah, you have to figure out like if you really love that person.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with
You're
it.
not agree? I feel like there's some hesitation on your part.
No. I mean, I definitely agree. You know, like love. I mean, the thing is I always go back to John 3:16. You know what I mean? Like love, like love is giving. You know what I mean? Like John 3:16. For God so loved the world that He gave His only big. And then it's like what will you give for that other person? You know what I mean? Like love is about what will you give for that other person. But speaking, like I just want to lay that as a foundational thing. But speaking specifically to Umar, like what he was saying, like people have conditions, and a lot of people get with people because of potential. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this person potentially can be this, and this. And usually 8, 9 times out of 10, women get with men because of potential. Like, oh, they feel like they can build a bear this man into something great or better than what he is. They see him like, okay, once I get with him, he gonna, right now he making 80,000 a year, but once I get with him, I'm gonna give him that chutzpah. I'm gonna give him that motivation to where he can be making more. I'm gonna put him where he need to be. And it's like, I tell people all the time, like you gotta get with somebody, love somebody, and marry that person who they are, right when you meet them,
right when you get with them.
Right, not who you think they can be. Oh, he gonna be a great father. He gonna be a great father. He gonna be this. He gonna. The future never. I tell people all the time, the future never comes. The future never comes. And people hear that and they like, what does that mean? Like the future never comes. So like when you speaking in the future, like that never comes, because once you get there, then you got something else. The next step, and they just keep going and keep going and keep going. It's just like people who make a lot of money and they want a big car, a big house, a nice car, a bad chick, and like a J. Cole in that song "Love Yours" is always gonna be a better chick than the one that you with. It's gonna be always a bigger car than the whip. It's always gonna be something bigger and better. So you gotta love yours. You gotta like be content with where you at, what you got, and you good. If something else come, wonderful. But what I got now, who I chose to marry, who this man is, who this woman is, I'm good.
But what do you think about the people that do get all of this success? And I think especially now in our day and age, like there's so many things coming at them. And so everybody wants to like go to the next thing, do the next thing. And I'm always thinking, when is a person, at what age does a person go, okay, enough is enough? Like, I've done all the things, I've got all the chicks, I've done it all, even, you know, for women. And you say, okay, this is enough. I'm done. I'm going to stay right here. Because I feel like the more successful certain people get, the more that they want, the more they want to do, the more they want to step out and do all these things. And then it's like, can you still step out and still love your person?
I mean, you know, that goes back to our cheating conversation. But shout out to Drea.
Exactly. That's what I want to talk about. Is it the love unconditional? Because I'm gonna go out and get my side piece. I'm gonna get my dog swabbed up, but I love my wife.
Get your who? What?
Whatever, you know, the dome. Whatever you say, Freddie.
What you said is not what I say. You said the dom swabbed up or something.
Whatever, however it is that you say
it. Get swabbed up.
Shut up.
But shout out to Ariel. You can't marry the vision. You got to marry it now, 100%, because she's married to my man Jonathan. They both went to TSU. But I mean, like I say, that goes back to our the whole like conversation we had about cheating. Maybe we'll revisit it. But I think like when it comes to love, is your vision towards that person. You know what I mean? Like how you see that person, like how you interact and your feeling and your ideology towards that person. The thing is that you know, men and women are different. You know, I think that we got to accept that, and we don't want to accept that. We don't want to accept the benefits a woman brings. We don't want to accept the benefits a man brings. We don't want to accept the cons that a woman brings. We don't want to accept the cons that a man brings. We want men and women to be the same. And so
no, I don't think they should be the same. I don't think they should be the same, Freddie. I just think
I'm not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying you think they should be the same. What I'm saying is, I think that sometimes people don't accept that men and women are different. Those are two different things. You got to accept that men are different than women. Like how you all move and how you all interact with a relationship is different than a man. Now, I'm not saying that a man should go out and get all the side chicks in the world, and he should do that.
Right.
That does not behoove a man to do that, because that complicates things. You add more things to your plate. When you add more moving parts, there's more chance of things to go wrong. But what I am saying is that it's been proven there have been plenty of situations where a dude can be married to his wife and married to a woman and he love her, but then he get the gob swabbed up, in your words, by another chick, and he like, all right, boom, you know, I was just effing them girls. I was gonna get right back.
I know. I just, you know, yeah, we can talk about that on another episode again. But my friend said
as a woman, women ain't built like that.
Well, not all women are built like that. That's true.
Yeah, that's when I say women. Yeah, not like generally speaking. Like there's some women who minds are just burnt.
They can go out there and do it. But you know,
they burnt raw.
My friend said something really interesting. We were talking about a friend of ours who likes to step out, and she said women are spaghetti and men are like waffles with our feelings. Like men can compartmentalize like a waffle, and we're like spaghetti. Like we address everything, and it's all mushed together. But men are like waffles, and they can compartmentalize, and they can do. I thought that was amazing. It's so true. Women are spaghetti and men are like waffles. They can say, "Oh yeah, I'm going to step out and go do this," and then come back and it's nothing. But women with our feelings, it's all mushed together. Like it's not separate like that. And I mean, I guess, but I just still don't feel that if my man is doing all this stuff behind my back on a regular basis, that he can come home and say that he loves me.
No, I mean, like I said, that goes
that
back
doesn't make sense to me.
That goes back to destruction, or like he just out just knocking chicks down left and right, just running. Like that's something totally different. That's something totally different. I'm talking about like, you know, like it'd be guys out here who marry, like, okay, he got like this one little chick every now and again, he just have a little fun with, and he come back. It's some dudes out here like they just knocking bitches down. They just go out, this chick, that chick, and they just got a whole graveyard of chicks back here. They just be knocking chicks down. Like that's something different. You know what I mean?
You feel like a man can love his wife unconditionally and have a side piece every now and then, and that's like okay, and your love can still be unconditional?
No, I didn't like you. You see, you be adding little pieces in there and be okay. And what I'm saying
asking you.
No, I know you asked me, but I'm saying you add this extra little piece in, and like, no, take that little piece out about it. About it being okay. I'm not saying that that's okay. I'm not saying that a man should do that. Like, oh yeah, you should go out and do that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, if that happens, like that doesn't take away from how that man looks at the woman that he loves, or we're like, oh, he loves her any less, or anything wrong with her. Like a lot of times dudes might say it ain't got nothing to do with his wife or his current chick. It's nothing to do. It's just like, oh, it was available and this is something different, and I just wanted to see something real quick.
That's right, Aunt Vicky. That's right, Aunt Vicky.
Like, matter of fact, remember that Martin episode where Martin got in trouble with Gina because he lost his wedding ring when he went to the gym?
Yep.
Remember why he lost the wedding ring?
No, I don't remember.
He went to the gym. He was with Tommy, and they saw a cute chick. And he was mad. He ain't hollered at a chick in years. And they were talking, right. And he was like, oh, yeah, I still got it. Like Tommy was like, man, you married, you washed, but it's okay. You washed, basically you washed. He's like, nah. He just wanted to show like, oh, I still got it. Took his ring off, went and macked the chick down, got a number, but he lost his ring. But apparently it was in his bag, but he couldn't find it. But didn't have his ring, and then now he looked like he cheated, or whatever. But he just wanted to mack the chick down just to show like I still got it. That's it.
But I mean, that's a totally different situation. He didn't actually do anything with the woman. I still would be a little annoyed with that, but shout out to my aunties in the house and my mother. Hello, guys.
Hello,
and guys, make sure you like, follow, subscribe if you're just joining us, and hit that like button. We appreciate it.
Support. Yeah, hit our YouTube, please, guys. Can y'all go to our YouTube and subscribe? That's the main thing. Like, please go to our YouTube and subscribe, like on our YouTube, because we want to get everybody to YouTube, because that's where we can see all y'all comments easier, and it's more cleaner on our end. It's less work on our end. So if you can do that,
please.
I highlighted Christopher's comment. I think I know what you're gonna say, but
Christopher, thank you very much. Can she do the same? Because here's my thing, Freddie. I don't want to be lied to. I don't want there to be deceit. I don't want there to be betrayal. If you're going to do these things, like, let's have a conversation about it. I don't want this to be done behind my back. That to me is not love. And my thing is, I want my husband to be truly who he is fully. Like we talked about, whoever you marry, they're going to show up as themselves. So I want to know all of you. I don't want to be in a relationship where it's like, oh, thank God my wife left. Now I can just be who I really am. No, be who you really are. Like, true freedom in a relationship, I think, is the ultimate magic, right? So if you can do all of that, have a conversation about it. And there are people who have relationships like that. Some people are don't ask, don't tell. I've been around those 1%ers, and that's how their relationship is set up. That is an agreement that they made together. It wasn't like the man just goes and does it. She's just like, hey, I need you home these days. I don't care what you're doing. Just make sure you're home these days. And that's it. Done. Whatever. Everybody's in the know. Everybody understands, and nobody has to be like, oh, I'm lying to my wife. Now, I'm not saying that I could do that, but I'm saying I understand that, and that makes more sense to me. Why are you laughing, Freddie B? Why are you laughing?
You added that caveat in. I said I could do that, but
Excuse me? No, because it's not for me.
You added that caveat, but the start of it was like, you want your man to be himself, and you don't want him to, like,
Freddie, that's not to say every single man needs to do that. I'm just saying, if my man had a conversation with me, then okay. I'm just saying it's not my preference. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'd rather my man not.
It's no, generally speaking, it's no woman's preference. Like, okay, yeah, do this with this other chick. You know what I mean? But like, like what Crowder just said, Christopher Crowder, he said, Freddie B, can she do the same? No, like, because women ain't built like that. Like, a woman can't like
just say no.
No, because she's not built like, it's not like, oh, she like, oh, okay, I'm gonna get licked up by this other dude. I'll be right back.
Maybe she saw the gardener and she's like, hey, you know what? It's been a minute. Whatever. And I'm gonna get my needs met and get on with my day. You think she's gonna fall in love with the gardener? It's totally possible, Freddie. Absolutely
possible, but it's highly unlikely that you could be married to your chick and she's like, okay, I'm gonna let the gardener bend me over backwards and wear me out real quick. And I'm
tell your husband? Oh yeah, no.
Like, come on, man. Like, nah.
Probably not that. No.
You know what I mean? And it's just the visual. Like, let's flip it around. Imagine you as a woman and like, oh, your guy went out and did it, but how he go and do it, he has to get bent over and grab his ankles. Like, can he come back to you?
9 times out of 10, a woman and man cheats is not a woman he would never be with. You guys, I don't know.
What's she say?
Men can cheat with no emotional tie, so they can cheat and still love the women they are with. 9 times out of 10, a man cheats with is not a woman he would ever be with.
There you go. Tiana makes a very Tiana must got some brothers or some dads, or she be around a lot of dudes, because I can't really argue with that.
I look, my whole thing is I don't want anything done behind my back. That's my thing.
That's usually how it is. Like, dude get like a chicken, it's just because, like, oh, she just had this big ghetto booty, a big donkey booty. He just wanted to blah, 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 blah. But he ain't trying to deal with that on a regular basis. Like, I don't want to live life and
I
deal
don't
with
know.
that. She just had it, and I just wanted just to just wild out.
I just think it's sad that today in our generation, the idea of staying in the trenches with someone is not, that's not the thing. You know, a lot of people are just ready to jump ship at any point. I think I get fascinated that people are even still getting engaged nowadays, you know, that people are still getting married. It's true because of how everybody's mind is. Everybody's ready to just be like, oh, nope, I'm out. See ya. On to the next. Thank you, Tiana. It doesn't make it okay. Exactly.
And I've already said, I'm not saying that a man should do that, but what I'm saying is, to her point, I'm never saying say a man should go out and get a side chick. That's what you're supposed to do. Get married and get you a side chick. Like, no, if you cannot do it, don't do it. You just invite extra moving parts that could potentially go wrong. Like, there's the cons outweigh the pros. If you a man, you married, and you getting a side chick, a mistress, or whatever, the cons far outweigh the pros. And I will never advocate to do something where your cons outweigh your pros so heavily. Doesn't make sense. But if it happens, I don't think it's that big of a deal to where it's like, okay, we getting divorced. But to your point, what you just said, people don't go through the trenches. I mean, I would say that's primarily women that feel that way. With like being with men, like, okay, I'm not going. I like, because the thing is going through the trenches.
Wait, you're saying that women primarily don't want to go through the trenches with men?
Yeah.
What?
Are there women who do? Yes, but I'm saying, like, but the messaging that we see online
is today that every woman is just trying to jump ship and men are trying to hang in there and make it work.
I didn't say every. You said every.
No. Today, you think most men are trying to hang in there and make it work?
It just okay. Who files for divorce the vast majority of the time?
Why are they filing for divorce, Freddie?
Because they're not. I can do bad all by myself.
No.
What you mean no? Like,
it's because people are unhappy, which leads us to our next subject, Freddie.
People aren't happy. That's so wow. That is the most general thing I think you've ever said on this whole podcast. This is
what I'm talking about. This is what I am talking about, though. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. Why can't I bring
going through the trenches? If you go through the trenches, ain't nothing pleasant or happy about that.
I agree with you, but I'm saying this is why people are getting divorced. This is why people are getting divorced. People are cheating. People are doing things. People want to be with other people and all this stuff. And, you know, I don't think people are thinking about what we were just talking about, the depth of love being unconditional. I don't think probably a lot of people don't.
Conditional.
It mostly is conditional. Yes.
It's a contraction. Most women get with men based on a contract on what.
Or men and men too. You think women get with men based on a contract? That's it. It's not men doing the same thing.
No, I'm not saying men don't do that, but I'm saying generally speaking, you
started with women.
I didn't. You let me finish. I was going through the whole thing. Usually, women are more contractual than men. Like, yes, do men do it? Yes, both sides do it. But you find usually you're gonna find. You know, I'm. You know, obviously, I don't have any facts to back it up, but you know, that's definitely an opinion based off what I've seen and based off. I mean, it is based off some facts based off who files for divorce the vast majority of the time.
Oh my gosh, Freddie. But even in the video, he just said these men are like getting with women because based on the way they look and, you know, people are getting married. Like, oh, she got a fat ass and all this stuff. It's like, whoa. On both sides.
Men are not marrying women because they got a fat ass. Like,
that is a lie. That's a lie.
No, it's not.
That's a lie. These guys who were getting with these girls with all the BBMs or whatever. The what do you call it?
Men don't marry chicks. Actually,
yes,
you know what?
They do, Freddie. Yes,
actually,
they do.
I wish I had her send me that video. Somebody showed me a video. It was a guy. He went out.
Those women are not getting married.
Wait, time out. It's a guy. He went out and asked women, natural or BBLs. What do you think men like more? Women were like BBL. It was like a line of women. BBLs. Then he went and asked men, what do you prefer, natural or BBLs? Natural. Men said natural.
Obviously, men are all going to say natural, but when you see these athletes and some of these men, all the women look like. They do look like that. They look like balloons.
It's not real life. That's the one. That's not real life. You talking about a bunch of men who got money like that, who were broke and then rich immediately. They didn't work for nothing. That's one. That's one. And two, the vast majority, I'm and the wild part about it is I'm a man and I have a bunch of male friends. And when we talk, men don't even like weaves and all that fake. We don't want none of that. We don't want a head full of weave and fake booty and fake, no. Give me natural titties, natural booty. I want to feel the natural. Like Kendrick in the song. Give me a natural booty.
I guess they don't want to admit it, Freddie. They don't want to admit it, but that's what's going on. I don't think they want
men talking to men. What you don't want to admit it each other?
Freddie, but that's still the women that they're dating. It's still the women that they're dating.
No, men do not date.
I believe it, but I'm just saying that's still the women that they're dating and marrying.
We do not date.
Getting married.
No, Drea, we don't date. We don't date.
Like I believe that you don't. I believe that you don't. Yes, I believe you.
The majority of men just want to blaze. Like a chick with a BBL, look goofy. Like I said before, we just want to have fun with it just to see what it do. And then once we see what it do, like, all right,
shut up.
I'm not about to wake up to you every single night. Like, no.
Some people are, Freddie. Some people are.
Yeah, some people are, but the vast majority of men are not marrying chicks that look like cartoonish cartoon characters. Like, no, we're not doing it. It's not happening.
All right, let's move on to our next subject, which
I win. Thank you.
Great segue that more Americans are getting divorced later in life, and here's why. Divorce is up among middle-aged and older Americans, even as younger generations are less likely to get divorced, a recent analysis finds. According to new research, divorce rates doubled for 55-plus Americans and tripled, for those over 65 from 1990 to 2021. So what does that tell us? So this, Freddie, was interesting to me because we've talked about this on the podcast where, people are not happy. People came from a generation where you did stick it out. You had to make it work. You could not get a divorce. And now these people that are 55 plus are realizing, I don't really want to be with this person. I don't like them. I come from a generation where I was told I have to stay married. I have to be with this person. And I read one of the comments. Somebody said their grandpa got divorced at 80 years old. 80 years old. He's like, I don't want to die unhappy. I don't want to die unhappy. So what are your thoughts on this, Freddie? Because I'm saying to you, it's like people are like, no, I don't want to do this. They're 80 years old, 55 years old. They've been married since they were 20 years old. And they're like, you know what? I'm out. I'm not saying I necessarily agree with it, but what do you think about that?
It is the classic case of
here we go.
The grass is not greener on the other side.
I guess at 80, you still think so.
And so now what has happened with social media, people can log on to Instagram, and then now we can see they got what they call them. They call it boom influencers, the influencers that are 50, 60 plus, like the women who 65. I forgot what they call them. They got a special name for the influencers that are old. They're 55 plus. It's a bunch of you'll see women and men. They look great for their age. So people see that and think oh, it is people really out there like that. I have options. So people think that they have options now. And so I ain't got to stay here and be unhappy. I'm going to leave you and I'm going to go back out into the dating world. I'm going to find these beautiful 55 and seniors that are my age. And then I'm going to actually be happy. I'm going to find this guy who was on this podcast or had this little viral clip who's speaking so intelligently, like my man don't. My man, he don't speak like this, but he does. There's men out here who speak like that. I can do bad all by myself. He actually dumb. My man actually dumb. I didn't know this. I'm out. And then people leave. They kids grown, and now y'all just at the house by yourself, and now you resent him based on what you see on social media. Just like I was watching the Senate hearing with Mark Zuckerberg.
You resent him.
What do you think?
I'm saying you don't think it's both ways.
I mean, of course it's both ways, but like I said, I think
right. Well, once all of your examples make it sound like it's our fault. Women are stepping out.
Once again, women file for divorce 70 to 80% of the time.
Did you not remember that video I showed you of that guy that was talking? I think everybody watched it. We're on the what is it? Soft white underbelly, the divorce lawyer. And saying that a guy came into his office that was in his 90s or 80s or something, and he wanted to get a divorce because he was still chasing vagina. And he thought it was the saddest thing ever. He wanted to end his marriage so he could be with a woman who was 60 or something. So it's it happened.
Yeah,
what?
That's insane.
That's insane. 89. Like what is going on?
I mean, so the thing is that here's the thing, like with older men, like a lot of times that'll happen because as men, you could be 40, 50 and still pull way younger than you, still pull something like that.
Absolutely, you can. I just saw it this past weekend. A girl was 20 years old. Her man was 51. I literally, I was shocked. Like, what are they talking about? She's 21. Like, what conversation are you having with a 21-year-old and you're 50? Please enlighten me. I don't think there's a lot of conversation happening. I really don't.
No, I mean, it might be. I mean, like the dude 50,
there's not a lot of conversation happening.
He might want to relive his younger years and he really enjoying hearing her talk. Like, because when you're 20, she got probably all the life in the world. He just be like, oh, okay. I'm gonna do it. Did you see? Oh my God! Like, he's just like, yeah. He throw a couple of sentences in, one sentence blue.
That sounds miserable to me. I have no idea, like, how that makes any sense. I just don't get how that makes any sense. But the thing is just, I think it's sad. I mean, to be honest, like, I think thinking about if I would have gotten married at 26 and then getting married now, just the way that you view things, the way that you understand things, I think it's far better because I don't think you have a full understanding all the time of what you're getting yourself into. That is why people are getting married a lot later. And then this right here just proves my point of everything we talked about on this podcast, because it's like people get together. They were told to do these things. They were told to stick it out. And now people are like, before they're about to kick the bucket, they're like, I don't want to be with this person. I'm out of here. I want to go be with the person that I really want to be with, which is probably the neighbor or somebody's best friend that they've been lying about that they were in love with anyway. And I
think this goes back to what Dr. Umar was saying. You know what I mean? Contractual. Like people got married back then for contractual reasons, but you know, like they got married for the wrong reason. They didn't get married because they love the person. It's like unconditional. It's like, I love who this person is. They got married for who this person could be. And then a lot of times the person might have became that. But like I said before, the future never comes. So when they become that, then it's like, oh, well, what about this? Well, what about that? And it keep going. They're still going at 60. Then they be like, all right, I'm getting close. They ain't gonna never get there. I'm out. But if you look at where they started from, they did all the stuff that you wanted, but then you want more.
Who wants more, Freddie?
The person who divorces.
I mean, don't you think that people can just not get along and it's not about any of that? You get married at 21, 22, and let's say you're together till you're 60. I mean, that's a lot of years to change. I mean, think about yourself even just 10 years ago. I highly doubt you're the same person that you were 10 years ago. So you start this life with a person when you're just starting to be an adult and figure things out. And then you're with this person for 40 years and you're definitely not going to be the same person, right? So, hopefully you can grow together. I'm not saying this is for everybody, but like those people that are kind of discovering like, hey, like I'm really not happy. The kids are out and I want to do something else.
There's a difference between going on a road trip, riding in different cars and riding in the same car. Like what you're saying is people get married, they ride in different cars. If you ride in different cars, yeah, there's a good chance this person may drive off and leave you or get off at an off ramp and you didn't even know you still going. Now y'all not in the same place. You got to break up. And it's a whole different thing where we doing a road trip, we get in the car together from the jump. But that's the problem. People
but
get married.
You can still get in the car together from the jump, and then maybe eventually you get into a different car. It doesn't mean that you started the relationship off in a different car. You can start it off in the same car, and then people change. And then sometimes you don't want to be together anymore. It doesn't mean that from the jump you started separately, and that's the only reason people get divorced. I don't think everybody gets married thinking they're going to get divorced. I mean, these days they probably do, but back then I'm sure they didn't. And with the culture and the way that people think now, it's changing. So a lot of these people that have been married for, all these years are like a light bulb's turning on. They're like, well, I don't have to stay and do this. I can get out of here. Listen, I'm not saying it's maybe the best idea. I know my friend's grandpa, he's like 70 and wanting to leave her grandmother. He's 70 and he's like, yeah, I'm out. And everyone's like, yo, where are you going? Like, what do you think is going to happen right now? but he wants to go and do his thing. He's 70. So it's like, I mean, I don't know.
I mean, like I said before, it's like nobody gets married thinking they're gonna get divorced. But
No.
the thing is that when you get married, you grow together. And the thing is that when you get married to somebody, that is your priority. Like I said, going back to what Dr. Umar was saying, like you love somebody unconditionally. When you love somebody unconditionally, that is your priority. That is your focus. So if you're focused on them, then you're growing with them. It's not like you're growing, y'all are different. You're a different person now. Like now y'all can't mesh. Like you're growing with them. Y'all are attached. It's just like a tree and two vines that are wrapped around each other. They grow together and they grow up together. It's not one they wrapped around each other, then they grow left and one gets thicker and one gets longer. Like, no, you're actually entwined. People are not entwined with each other. They're focused on themselves. They're not focused on the other person. That's why you grow apart and then you get 60, 70, like, I don't want to do this anymore. I want to do my own thing because you weren't growing with that person.
But what about, do you think that you can still be intertwined, when you're going through really, really difficult times? That people, everybody says who's been married for a long time, they're like, sometimes I want to freaking kill my partner. And we've had moments where it was terrible, right? And so sometimes, Freddie, like people don't come back from that. And then, you get this big, separation in your marriage that if you're not trying to fix it and they're not trying to fix it and you just continue growing apart. And sometimes people stay together through that. But because obviously, as we both know, it's not going to be all, lollipops and roses in a relationship. But it's like, I don't think that it means that people didn't try. I think if you tried and didn't work out, and this is what ends up happening. But my question to you is like, do you think this is still the case if people are like going through a really hard time together? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So like when you say people try, like what does that mean? If they try, I can try.
Go to therapy. They're showing up for each other. They're really trying to like do the things to make it work. But what if it's just not working? What if it's just not working?
So for example, like with sports, I could try to be a better basketball player. I can go to camps. I can go to practice. That don't mean I'm gonna get better.
But Freddie, if you don't try, then how do you know? You know what I mean? If it's something you're really passionate about.
So the thing is that when you try, like, is your heart in it? That's the difference.
Sure, exactly.
So if you try, your heart is in it. That's something different. A lot of people go through the motions. I'm sure you heard of that. People just go through the motion, like, oh, I tried, it didn't work, I'm out. Because usually in those situations, like people do all that, one person is trying, the other person is not. Their heart isn't in it. They're just going through the motions. Other person is trying and their heart is in it. Other person going through the motions. So it's not going to work because only one person is actually putting in the work. And so when you have these situations to where, like, to what you were saying, that if you're growing together, if you're actually growing together, you're actually intertwined, then you're attached to each other. And then you're growing together. It's a collective thing. It's not an individual. Once it becomes an individual thing, you're not connected anymore. You're your own person. They're their own person. So more than likely, it's a matter of time before y'all go y'all separate ways.
Do you think in a marriage, you're supposed to be that way the entire time? Do you, in your mind, like, do you think that that's how it's supposed to be the entire marriage? Or do you see how it could also be, there are times in a marriage where you are like separated, then you come back together, then you are separated and you come back together. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So, well, one, no, like when you get married, they literally say in the ceremony, like when two become one. So they say that. So when two become one, you're one. So you're never separated. And going back to what you were saying about people going through things, they never come back, so on and so forth. I have a saying with friends, like, we ain't real friends until we go through something.
I agree with that.
We ain't real friends until we get mad at each other and we come back. Once we get mad at each other and we come back, then we friends. So we're talking about just friends. Now, if you extrapolate that to actually like lovers and your forever partner, then like think about that. Like if we go through something, we don't come back. Like we never loved each other. It was never real. That was something that was performative. It was for the show. Like, okay, I'm gonna get with you, and you saw something that you wanted to be attached to in that person. But then when the rubber meet the road, when the stuff hit the fan, you like, yeah, it ain't that deep for me to be attached to that person. I'm gonna fall back.
Ooh.
That's what we get to unconditional love. Like that goes back to the conditions. We go through stuff. All right, the conditions have been broke. I'm out. I ain't about to deal with this. So, like I said, like we everybody know, when you got friends, if it's just hunky dory, you biting your tongue just to stay, y'all ain't like really real. You become really real when it's like, man, shut your weak ass up. Wait, what you to? Like, I'll be like, all right, keep playing with me, and then y'all like y'all about to go to blows, and then y'all take a breath, y'all leave, and then you come back, you like, yo, what you doing tonight? Yo, this is party. You trying to roll? You want me to go with you now? Man, come on, man. Like, all right, man. Like, we had our little thing, and whatever y'all as friends do to recompense, you do that, and then next week y'all back at it. Y'all joking. Like, y'all are actually friends. Like my guy, Deshaun Smith. I call him photography, but Deshaun Smith. We done had plenty of times where we done got mad at each other, but we still friends. We really friends. Like my other guy, Lester in Tulsa. Like we done had times where we got mad at each other, but we still cool. So it's try to test it. Our relationship went through the fire. It's just like a weapon. A weapon is forged at its hardest when it's forged through fire. So if your marriage can't handle the fire, it was never real. It's performative. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news,
Freddie, but you're saying if you have any fire, like, I mean, your relationship is going to go through the fire, but it's like to say that, I don't think it's fair to say if you end up getting divorced and you really tried and you were together with someone for 30 years and you had a lot of fires, it didn't work out. I don't think it's fair to say it was never real.
Yes.
Okay, well, we disagree on that. I absolutely disagree on that.
Like, here's the thing with life. Life ain't fair. That's the first thing. Okay. And so going to that's not fair to say. Life ain't fair. When you talk about doing life with somebody, you're doing life with them. So if you're doing life with them, and we know life ain't fair, that means that you're doing something that isn't fair. So it's not going to be fair between y'all interactions. And so the thing is that unfortunately, there are a lot of people get into things and they just go along and get along. They go along for the ride, and you look up 30 years have passed, and you realize it was never real. But then a lot of people like, I've been here 30 years. Like, I'm 60, 70 years old. I'm not about to go back out in the dating world. Like, It is what it is. Like, I figured out, I just go along to get along, whatever. You right, babe. Okay, whatever. And they just go along to get along till they die. It is what it is. But unfortunately, it's a lot of people been married 40, 50 years and their marriage was not real. Unfortunately.
Okay, that I get. I get what you're saying.
But if your relationship goes through the fire and it melts, it ain't real. It's as simple as that.
I mean, yeah, I see both. Like, I can see how you can be with somebody that long.
Said it. You just said
no. I get what you're saying. But I don't think if it ends, Freddie, it means it wasn't real. Two people can try, and they gave their hearts. They did it, and you just did not get along. It didn't work. I mean, it can't be that simple. Like, it didn't work out, so it's not real. No.
Like life really ain't that difficult. The reason why life is difficult is based on our flesh, like what we want to do, our feelings, like what feels good to us. That's what complicates life. Like if you could take out a human's feelings, then you would have a robot. Think about robots. Robots, they're programmed to do boom, 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 and it's like that. It ain't hard. They do the same thing over and over and over again. You get a computer, but a human is not a robot because we have feelings, will, and emotions. That's what complicates things. Life is not hard. It's not difficult. Yeah,
I wish we could just take our feelings out of everything. Everything would be a lot easier. But unfortunately, we are feelings people. And
we got mind, will, and emotions. And that's what complicates things, because there have been plenty of times, and I'm sure you can attest to this, where you've done some things and you was about to do some things that I probably shouldn't be doing this. I probably shouldn't call him. I probably shouldn't invite him over. I probably shouldn't go out with him. But you still do.
Never. I would never do something like that.
Right. And you still do. And then it goes to crap. And then you be like, why did I call him? Your feelings, your mind, will, emotion, and it complicated things. And now you sitting with this ball of emotions, a basket case, all because you did something you shouldn't have done. And then now you left to figure it out.
Well, okay. I get it. I don't think that, obviously that's not the case. People aren't robots. And I think that people need to think more about what unconditional love is as they go into marriage. So I think it's been a good episode, Freddie. We did it.
It sucks, man, but hey, it's real life, man.
It's real life. And we thank you guys so much for watching us tonight. Wait,
you play the music?
I always
I just played it.
Thank you guys so much. I am Drea Renee. This is Freddie B.
Hey, main man, Freddie B. Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. Every Tuesday, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. YouTube. Hit the YouTube, man. Hit the YouTube.
Hit the YouTube, guys. Subscribe, follow, do all the things. We appreciate you. And we will
Instagram,
see you
thank y'all.
Next week. Yes, thank you, Instagram. We'll see you guys next week.
We got people comment on the Instagram. I forgot to pull the tab up. I'm sorry, Instagram. Here's on YouTube though.
YouTube. We'll see you next week.